Good morning, family. Welcome to today's group. My name is Latasha Wells, and this is my boss.
I'm not her boss. Y'all know that. I'm her slave. That's what I am. It's like, no, that's his, my name is Mel Wells, proud husband, proud father, proud son of Margaret Wells and Reverend Wells, the servant of One Day at a Time.
So, what is group about today?
Group today is going to be about the special piece of the ingredients of One Day at a Time. Who's that special piece? That was my mom and my dad. My mom came from the cotton field with no excuses, picking hundreds of pounds of cotton a day. My father came off of death row with no excuses, dropped out in the 8th grade, was on a run from the FBI for about 20 years. But guess what? My mom made it and my dad made it. And I want to make sure that we actually put out a message to individuals so they can grasp on and say, wow, I'm not that bad. My beginnings wasn't that rough. And guess what? You can make it too. Don't let nobody hate on you to the point you stop believing in yourself. Reverend Wells was able to believe in himself, but ultimately it was my mom. My mom was the heartbeat of One Day at a Time. And even though she's still not on this earth right now and she's in heaven watching down on us, her heart is the reason why ODAT is on the level it is. It's not because of our smarts. It's not because of money. And to let you know something, Mom made my father get started with passion. A lot of us got to learn how to start with the passion before the paycheck. So I want you to be able to look at the things that my mom will be talking about, her love, our love. And I want to give a shout out to all women that are out there hanging in there with their men. If it wasn't for my mom praying day and night for me and my dad, we wouldn't have never got off the street. My dad wouldn't have been able to start One Day at a Time. Do you even know that 1628 West Shore Street, my mom address, that was a crack house ran by my grandma. Wow. Look at how God turned things around. Wow. So don't believe that God can't turn things around for you. And also, just look at, my dad, the great things that he was able to accomplish. This man always used to say something. It's just weird how God answered your prayers, right? My dad always said, I'm going to take him from the crack house to the White House. And before my father passed away, the congressman was able to come to our house and deliver a flag to my dad and saying, look, even though you dropped out the 8th grade, everybody respects you up in D.C. And we flew the flag over the White House. And I want to shout out my pop, too. Again, guess what? He had to go to Harvard and even teach classes. So I want to show you a little piece from 60 Minutes. A lot of people saying, what do we do in the area of Kensington? What do we do with people who keep relapsing and relapsing over again? A lot of people are making money off of people relapsing. But Reverend Wells said, it's real simple. It's real simple. Guess what it is? It's love. Continuous love. That agape love over and over again. Once they relapse, keep loving them. They relapse again, keep loving them. But I want you to also know that if you don't pick up this thing, love, and reach back out, and really catch on to what's going on, eventually that love thing will run out too. The doors are always open at One Day at a Time, but life ain't always promised. Watch this group, man. I hope you learned something from this. And I guess a shout out again. Without my mom and dad, even my wife sitting here, you, the ODAT staff, and especially the one came in last night, I won't be nothing. This job is about pleasing God and not yourself. Enjoy this group. Peace.
For decades, drug addicts have been arrested and jailed only to return to the street as addicted and dangerous as before. Drug dealers have been given increasingly longer sentences and helped make prisons one of America's growth industries. Yet new dealers take their place and addiction remains widespread. This is a story about how the Philadelphia police have come to the same conclusion and decided to try something different, very different. And the idea of Sylvester Johnson, recently named Philadelphia Police Commissioner. Before his appointment, Johnson was the city's general in charge of the drug war, who after years of reviewing battlefield statistics came to a shocking conclusion, that his city was losing the fight. And Johnson's idea about how to improve things was more startling than a needle in the arm. His idea was to offer drug treatment to addicts not when they go to court or after they get out of jail, but as soon as they are arrested. That's right, on the spot, give addicts the choice to go to jail or to go to treatment. If interested, they are immediately taken across a parking lot into a van to meet the unlikely-looking man police picked to make the offer.
Let me make this very clear. I'm on your side.
The humble-sounding Reverend Henry Wells.
You want to stop?
Yeah.
Whose One Day at a Time drug program is for Philadelphia's inner-city addicts, what the Betty Ford Clinic is for Beverly Hills.
My name is Reverend Henry Wells. I'm not a police. I'm not working for the police. I'm working for you. Yeah, I'm on your side.
Who is Reverend Wells?
Well, Reverend Wells is a man close to 70 years old that was strung out on drug and alcohol for many, many years. I'm a recovering drug addict. Really? A heroin shooter, a pill dropper, name it, I did it.
What was the worst thing you were charged with that you actually did?
I shot somebody. But I'm here today, free, happy, having a great time.
Do you have any academic degree?
I have a street academic degree.
And the Reverend doesn't have a divinity degree either. Well, let me ask you something now. You're a Reverend, but you didn't go to divinity school.
Went to school of hard knocks. Right here where the rubber meet the road. You done the prostitution yet?
No.
Well, you will. You come down here, you might get your brains blown out. I mean, you can either go with us, or you can go back to the cop man. The cop man don't give a damn about you. We do.
I know they don't.
Okay?
In your experience, what's most likely to reach one?
What's most likely to reach one that you don't have a record now, but you're going to have one tomorrow? You haven't shot anybody yet. You haven't robbed anybody yet. Or you haven't been robbed, maybe. Or maybe you haven't turned a trick yet. Maybe you don't have HIV and AIDS. Maybe you know, but I can guarantee you one thing. If you don't get your life together and let somebody help you, let me help you. Let's walk this road together. Let me walk you out of this. I guarantee you, it won't be long.
The only people to hear the offer of treatment or jail are first-time offenders who live in Philadelphia.
I can't do it.
Okay.
I got a job.
Okay.
On its face, it seems like an offer too good to refuse, and to the addict it is, but not the way you may think. Most offenders decide to go to jail. To them, a few hours or days behind bars is much easier than months of recovery.
This is a hideous disease, and it has a part that people don't want to deal with or don't want to look at themselves, and that's the insane part of it. Very few people can crawl out this pit, so you have to throw them a rope.
I know it's hard to go to jail. I never been to jail, you know, and
Don't go.
And I got
This was perfect for someone
I got
like
three
you.
kids, you know. I wanna,
Yeah.
you know, I got problems. I need help.
But Expedito Arias was eager to grab the rope and choose treatment over jail, or so it seemed.
You're saying that you want to come into the program and get some help.
Linda Hicks was 34 when she became seriously addicted, 39 when she met Reverend Wells and became sober. Now she works with him and helps run the program.
Do you realize the blessing and
Man.
opportunity that you're receiving today?
If you get sober and clean, work with me to help somebody else.
We're going to take you today.
We're going to take you today.
Okay.
They're not going to lock you up. All right, thank
right.
you. All right, amigo.
And we're going to welcome you to our recovery program.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Stay still. Clear and open.
Instead of being locked up, Arias found himself, for a moment at least,
You got a reason to smile, don't you?
in the limelight. It is a short ride to the headquarters of Reverend Wells,
All right, thank you, sir. I told you.
All right.
You're the first one to get this. Take
All right.
advantage of it.
All right.
Thank you.
and then a long reality check.
What brought you here today? Oh, I got arrested. I went to buy something and I got arrested.
Let me tell you a little bit about the program, man. It's one day at a time.
Yeah.
It's a 6-month to a year program. It's a tough love program. Coming to the houses, you know, there's no locks on the doors. You don't have to stay. You know, we're not gonna make you stay.
We don't have no detox, nothing like that. Cold turkey. Think you can handle something?
Well, I'm gonna try.
All right.
I'm gonna try. I gotta stay inside here.
Wait, man,
right?
let me finish.
No?
Just sit, relax. Let me finish, okay?
I'm
You had
sorry.
people who come
I'm just a
here.
little nervous.
So nervous that 1 hour after we left, so did Arias. He ran out the front door into a waiting car, and he remains at large. Reverend Wells was not surprised, as he had tried and failed to get off drugs most of his life.
Hey there, okay.
Back in 1983, Henry Wells was looking for someone to help him out and couldn't find anyone. Down and out in Philadelphia, after a lifetime of street life, he found his salvation. He would save himself by saving others. After meeting some fellow addicts in a detox center, they moved in together to keep each other sober.
Keep the good work up now, huh? Okay.
Slowly, the number grew as recovering addicts recruited old street buddies. Today, Reverend Wells says 1,800 men and women go through his program every year, and that about a third of them remain sober.
I'm tired.
Most residents pay nothing, and living conditions are rough. The program gets small grants from city and private agencies. The staff has no doctors, no trained counselors, only each other.
This is your real family. And what do you go to family for? Nourishment. Your family is those that are close to you and carry your welfare.
The family and Reverend Wells talk in groups several times a day, to each other mornings and nights, and sometimes to juvenile offenders as young as 10.
That young man over there, I talked to him yesterday. I love you, man. I know you were so hot and you were so angry, but here you are, man. God bless you, okay?
One day at a time, it turns out, is all honest talk to stop drugs.
Probably I don't share this enough. I got a son in Florida doing life, so I have a personal stake in you. It means a lot to me to see you here. I'm working like hell to keep you from going to the penitentiary, getting shot up. As I always say, let's not send all our children to jail. Let's send some of you to Yale.
Tell me what the Henry Wells method of treatment is.
Well, the method of treatment is one addict helping another. Meaning that I know about your pain and suffering, and I can tell you about my pain and suffering, and I'll get better, and you'll get better, and we'll get better together. It's a very simple process. There's nothing complicated, or you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do it. I know because I did it.
And if I, as an addict, tell you, well, Reverend, I'm really just looking for a few days to get myself squared away, what do you say?
We're not looking for nobody that just want a few days, because recovery for us is not for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It's one day at a time for the rest of your life.
Now, to someone who's watching this program and says, I'm not sure why I should care about what Reverend Wells is doing. You know, I don't live there, so it doesn't affect me. What would you say?
Well, some of the same people that you think that doesn't affect you, those are the people that broke in your car downtown. Those are the people that stuck you up. Those are the people that robbed your mother. Those are the people that shot you. So you should care.
When I got arrested, had I not taken this choice, I'd have probably been out of jail in 6 or 8 hours. And because of that, had the opportunity to continue what I was doing. By coming in here, I'm immediately on a blackout. I'm not going out of the door.
48-year-old Alan Burgess knows how hard it is to choose treatment. When he was nabbed, Burgess was a construction inspector, married, a father, and a heroin addict for 20 years.
Because coming in here probably looks like you actually have to stop doing drugs. I remember being afraid to pray to God to get another day clean because I was scared he would give it to me.
Alan Burgess had been in traditional treatment with trained specialists many times in many places, and always relapsed. Everyone here has the same story, including Linda Hicks.
You know, in the rehabs, you had your room, you had people checking on you, you were cared for. Here, you just were really doubled up with a bunch of other people who had the same problem. No special treatment. Rather than taking walks and exercising on the grounds of the rehab, you were walking down the street. You were having to make a choice as you went down the street each day, whether or not you wanted to stop and find a dealer, or whether or not you wanted to stay with these people or leave.
I was lost and getting high at any cost.
But what remains the same is remembering that you were always one day away from being back on drugs. New arrivals, old veterans, family and friends, even Police Commissioner Sylvester Johnson, got together regularly to share the pain, the triumphs, and the message of Reverend Wells.
You have been put in my life to do what? To carry the message that recovery is real and you can recover one day at a time from anything.
Good. The Philadelphia police say the operation would be successful if only one addict was saved. After a dozen stings with about 75 people offered the choice, 4 people came to live here, stayed sober, and out of jail. In the dismal world of drug addiction, those are dazzling numbers.
God bless you. How you feeling? How you feeling? You want to carry the message?
next thing I knew, here come a little Mel, you know, because he did want children. He had gave Mel his name. He would read the Bible. He had picked a name for Mel, and he had picked a name for a girl, if I had had it. But it happened to be, if it had been a girl, it would have been named Abigail. If by being a boy, it would name Melchizedek, and that's Mel. So, as Mel grew up, he watched everything. And a lot of times when my husband, I was working, I refused to get a babysitter because he wasn't working. So Mel was around his dad a lot. Although there were a couple of times he did sneak and find a babysitter, but didn't tell me. But by Mel being with him, Mel learned a lot. And he also learned how to be around people. So when Mel was very young, he loved his daddy, he loved me. And he would stick up under us all the time. And so this particular day, my husband and I was talking about what can he do to help people. And I tried to figure it out. We had to come up with an idea of what can my husband do, because he really wanted to spread the word out. So I said, Tommy, that's what I always called him. I said, I know. And he said, what? I said, there is a man that got a dummy casket in the back of his truck. I said, nobody had the nerve to put a real person in the back of that truck in a casket. And then Mel said, Mom, why come Dad don't let me do it? So Tommy kept talking. I said, well, God done gave you what you want, so why don't you use it? But then as soon as I said that, I said, oh my God, my baby going in the casket? I said, wait a minute, let me think. Because it wasn't easy for me to think that my son was going in the casket. So I thought about it. I said, oh, but he gonna rise up out the casket. I said, oh, that is the difference. I said, okay, let it be. So that's really what happened. But after that, my husband, he went, a lot of times he carried Mel with him. He went all over the world. He went to London. A lot of it, the London stuff was because of the Church of Christ. As Mel grew up more and more, I really see his father in him. He worked so hard. He's trying to make it. But I do see him. He loving people and trying to help everybody. And I think a lot of them that don't get help, it hurts him. And I see him regardless of what he trying to do for his family. And he worries about me, and he just worries about everybody, but he's still trying to make it. To me, Mel got his father in him, and he got me. I can see myself in him and his dad. He's very determined to try to get everybody sober. And I pray that he get his dreams what he really do want, you know. Because he's the type of kids, he could have been in jail. He could have been killed. But God spared him. He's here to help other people. And that makes me feel so good to know that how he's living now. And I couldn't have nothing no better. I just pray that he be okay and that he stay with God and do the right thing. That's what I see him now. Well, I thank God for Mel. I even thank God for Daryl Chapman. I even thank God for the people that have helped him get where he is today. It's good to see my son. I would say like walking my husband's shoes. His heart is out there like my husband was. And to me, the way Mel is doing, he even gonna do more than what my husband. And I thank God for that. It's good to see that.
Mm-hmm. And for yourself, do you have any legacy that you already have, but that you really want to be remembered for?
Well, I feel so good when I try to do my best. Not that I don't make mistakes, but I do try to do my best. If somebody need my help or need me to do something, I try to do it. I might make mistakes, but they are not intentionally. I just want to love everybody, hug everybody. And when I see people and they call me Mom, a lot of them I don't know, but that's all right. That's okay. I'm sure in the Bible days, it was a lot of them didn't know one another. But I thank God today, that's a good feeling. I just want to be the mom of the whole Philadelphia. And that's how I want it to be. I would want to share. It's always someone that know that God is using. Whether you like it or not, if it's a bunch of kids in your house, there's always like one is a difference. So I ask each family to work with their children and try to help them to be not what you want them to be, but what they want to be. I didn't pick that out for Mel. He picked it out for himself. So that's what I would want.
Yo, what an amazing group, right? Amazing. I told you. Didn't I tell you, Tosh? Yeah. Tosh like, please, and he showed me one more tape that his daddy left him, and I got hundreds and hundreds of tapes, maybe thousands of tapes, right? But I just want to thank you for joining us today. And whatever you do this weekend, find somebody to reach out to. Find somebody, even wrap up a sandwich and give them a sandwich to. Yeah. Don't ride just past the homeless people. Even them boys on the corner, have enough heart to say, look, can I pray with you for a second so you didn't get killed on these corners? Yep. Especially if you lost somebody. And I want to send a shout out to a good partner, right? What's this? Voices by Choices, Woo-Wah and the team. All those mothers over there. You know, Woo-Wah was going through a lot of stuff, but she's a good mom. And I know a lot of y'all heard about somebody was murdered outside, even somebody's house. Guess what? That was even our own partner's house. Come on, y'all. We got to love in this city. It's not funding. It's not who you know. It's about your passion before the paycheck. If you want it, make sure you go after it before you even hear about the money, because that's how ODAT was really started, with no money but just passion. Time to level up. My name is Mel Wells, and this is
Natasha Wells.
Who that?
ODAT.
All bad.
You're better off putting one in your brain, cause plenty of pain instead of sunshine, thunder and rain. So many of us under the strain, we need to